When considering establishing new compensation plans, gathering important data through a comp study is important, but that doesn't give you a strategy. Here are some key important considerations to think through as you're putting together a comp plan for a new executive team in a family company. Number one, we can't underscore enough the importance of a clear strategic vision for your organization. Where do you want your business to be in the future? The reason this is important is that sets the goal through which your entire team is working towards, from your executives down to your entry level employees. Each of those people are working together in the pursuit of a common goal, like oarmen on a ship. You want them all paddling in the same direction, in cadence with each other, working together to achieve that goal. Compensation is an incentive to keep those people working together on the same path, working towards those goals. A compensation policy needs to incentivize value generation. What does that mean? Value in the context of a family company and with regards to compensation needs to be broken down into two critical components. One is straightforward. It's the economic engine that drives the company. We're talking about making money, the profitability of the business, the dividends that the family collects, and the bonuses and profit shares that go off to employees. This is straightforward and is directly derived from the person or employee achieving the goals set forth in the work plan and maintaining their responsibilities, et cetera, et cetera. The other more nuanced and difficult to grasp concept is socio-emotional wealth. And these are the non-financial benefits and value that a family derives from owning a company. This can mean anything from involvement into their community and legacy and tradition to maintaining family control over the company. A executive that's coming into a business needs to have guidelines about how to work with the family and understand what wealth in the socio-emotional space that the family pulls from the business and emulate those behaviors within the business to ensure that the socio-emotional wealth that the family derives is protected. In many cases, isn't necessarily thinking about in terms of a bonus or what a base salary is, but more so how you're going to protect the investment in that person in the long term. So if an executive breaks from the socio-emotional policies or the values of the family, they're going to end up being terminated or exiting from the business because they are violating what is closely held to the family in their emotional space. So when thinking through a compensation plan, we need to think on how we can align a person's behaviors to achieve what is important to the family in both the financial sense and the socio-emotional sense. So when we're thinking through compensation, we also want to understand how those behaviors can be emulated in the staff that you're bringing on board. As a final component, we want to talk about the importance of long-term incentive compensation in a family business, particularly when considering non-family executives. In many cases, individuals in the talent market today that are qualified and capable executives are going to attempt to negotiate for equity. And we would caution against it in most cases. And the reason being that the family very likely is not considering a liquidity event at any point in the future. If the family is considering a liquidity event, equity should be on the table, as an executive can be incentivized to help maximize that value when that event arises. If there is no liquidity event and the family is deploying patient capital and thinking about value generation across generations, equity should not be on the table, and you should be thinking in terms of non-equity forms of variable compensation and long-term incentives like phantom stock or profit sharing that allow your executives to participate in the value they're generating without giving them ownership stake in the business. Ultimately, in the long run, long-term incentives are meant to keep people on board with your organization in the long term without ceding control to them in the long term. So you're thinking about that financial benefit that does not give away control of the company.